to talk a little bit about becoming in marriage and what I've discovered should have been done before marriage, you know. I think I experienced marriage before I was in it. Obviously, as a child, I experienced, like I said, the parts where my parents were fighting, then the divorcing. So I never really thought that marriage was for me, especially because when I grew older, I experienced people that I loved and, you know, that are close to me that divorced and all of those things. So I just felt that this thing wasn't for me, you know. But by the grace of God, it happened, you know, and I do believe that it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be in this covenant. It's a blessing to produce with another person. It's a blessing to go through difficult times and come out victorious with another human being, you know. It's a blessing to also experience love, but there's certain things that I feel I learned later. You know, my journey with God, I gave my life to God obviously in matric, but the seriousness of my journey with God began a few years ago, you know, where I started to undo things within myself as a woman. And I came across this powerful, powerful book. It's called Total Woman by Dr. Gift Awubemoya. This book made me realize that I missed out on a certain area, in a certain period of my life, you know, that transitioning between tertiary and adulthood and children and all of that. I wish I got this book much earlier in my life. It's very prophetic. It's life-changing, you know. And I've just read a few chapters, and already my life transformed. I think I read this book in 2020, and then things started shifting in my life. So I really, really encourage you to get this book. But there's three things that stood out for me, you know. Obviously, the book is called Total Woman, and it speaks of three unique descriptions of a total woman. It says she's one who has found completeness and confidence in who she is in Christ. And truly, my journey with Christ and being one, I broke out of shame, you know. I broke out of shamefulness of my past and my decisions that I've done in my past. That's why I can talk about them now, you know. She is one who has been transformed inwardly and outwardly, seeking only to fulfill her God-given values. I started learning what I desired, why I desired it, and really I've birthed this beautiful product brand, Lunako, Bontle. I'm doing these things because of this transformation that is taking place in me on the inside, and God being God, giving me this idea of this beautiful product. I'm also transforming on the outside, you know. It might sound like a cliche or I'm oversaying it, but I bumped into somebody that I was in tertiary with on Sunday, and she was like, "You look so beautiful, you are glowing," and she's like, "I can't believe from like where we come from to where you are now," you know. And there's a period in my life where I thought, I wish I could go back to tertiary. I was so pretty then, I was glowing then. But when somebody sees you years later and is able to see, man, you look good, you look happy, you know, it's this transformation that they speak to, you know. And the last one is it says she does not depend on the approval of others or look for happiness and joy in other people, things, or events, but in God alone. This part is one of the most difficult, you know. I just want to read something else here. The total woman finds her distinctiveness and completion in no one, including her husband, but God, His word, and His purpose. Those statements are they are said, but the practice of it is it's so painful. I've had to be broken. Like, I've had to break inside. I've had to face, you have messed up. You know, sometimes acknowledging that you are wrong. I've had to go to my husband because I've always like accused him. But when I started to work with me and learn that before I can say, you did this to me, I must ask myself, is this a necessary thing to discuss? Is this a fight that I need to be fighting? Is this a conversation that I should be having? I don't win at it all the time. Atlejo can bear witness. There's an area of our marriage that I'm still trying to conquer, to say, Tebogo, just be quiet. You don't have to always point this thing out. It will work out, certain insecurities that I have that are not founded, because the reality is, if you don't deal inwardly with yourself, there's things that are popped into your mind that you entertain that start to look real, and then you push them into that reality. You can't like, you don't do this, you don't do that. Eventually, this person is gonna stop doing it because you're not seeing it, and then later you're like, oh, but he has been, And those are some of the experiences that I've had when I had to look into myself to be like, I like accusing Katleho of not taking care of me, right? I've done that. But then I realized, this guy, he cares about everything, man. He cares about every little thing. And I'm just gonna bring it to this product. Katleho will say to me, dude, I found packaging there, and I think, when did he even look at these things? Dude, I found, pages that are similar to what you're doing, even the concept behind what you're doing. And then I'm blown away, because yes, I tell him certain things, but not everything. And he picks up the concept, he falls in love with it. Katleho, do a video with me. Yes. Katleho, let's do this. Yes, but just one mistake, I come hard. I start saying it because I am not fulfilled in the idea of who I am and the belief in myself that I can do it. And therefore it shuts out what my partner tries to bring in, because he's not doing it in the way that I had packaged it in my mind. But if I had stopped the last part that I read in this book that says you look for approval from people, things, or events, Christ has already approved me. And I've fallen in love with that fact, but I haven't grasped it completely. And that plays a role in me not seeing the possibilities of being the best wife and the best woman that God has made me to be. But I'm pouring it out and I'm being open with you because it is that which I need to grow in my life, and literally that's just what I wanted to share with you guys about this thing of marriage, that let's not paint it in a way that we want it to be, but let us allow ourselves to grow into the right things. Let us not make partying, drinking, going out, being at the best places the center of our life, but let's make traveling, exploring. If you can't afford to travel, that's fine. Read books about things that are interests of yours, and enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Read the Bible, give your life to Christ, and know that I know that you will find the best you in that journey. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful week. I love you.